Hello everyone, I'm Julia from JetOctopus, and today we are absolutely happy to introduce you our logs analyzer. As you remember, we don't like limits, and here we don't limit log lines. Even in a standard package, you will not have any limits and you will be able to analyze your historical logs for 3 months, even 6 months, even 1 year. So let's get closer to what we are having here. Let's start with the first chart, which is dynamics of all bots visits. Pick up the period you are interested in to analyze, like last 7 days, last month, last 3 months, even last year. You can pick up the concrete bot you want to watch, and we even differentiate like Google search bot or Google AdSense bot, AdWords bot, and right now we analyze in around 40 different bots. Pick up domain if there are any, as it is very effective to analyze separately each domain, as there are a lot of situations when some of the domains are well optimized and some of them have problems, and you will definitely know what to fix and where. And group this data by days, weeks, or months. So here you see the dynamics of all bots. You can leave those bots that you want to watch separately, let's say unknown bots, and you see that there are some increases of these unknown bots, and you can click on it because all of the data is clickable, and you will see the information. You may apply user agent string filter here, and you will see what of these bots are. So to think about what is that, if you need that or not. And I'd like to stress your attention here that you are able to watch this data by different groups. You may see this by visits and by pages. So what that means? It means that when you group the data by visits, you are getting the dynamics of all bots visits. So the number of visits you are getting from different search bots. And when you group the data by pages, you are getting information how many pages are getting visits from these search bots. And this is very essential correlation because there are a lot of clients cases when they're getting like extreme increase of search bots visits, but the number of pages isn't increasing, and there is something wrong. So you should analyze the rest of the pages and make some improvements, fix the situation, so all of your commercial pages should get bot visits, and of course it will lead to organic traffic. And another chart, the dynamics of SEO visits. So visits of end users from searches. Very interesting chart, as you see again information within the pages, how many pages are getting organic traffic from either Google search board or Yandex or whatever. And you may get the number of visits from these search bots. So how many of these are coming from end users from different search bots. Again, grouped by pages and by visits. Very interesting information to analyze. Here you see all bots chart. So you see that in this particular website, Yandex search bot is presented pretty okay, but Google search bot, so there are some problems with that. It means that there are some issues within the like site structure for sure. Then here are just charts about subdomains, dynamic of subdomains, if there are any. And here you are able to see the fake bots. So we validate fake bots, and these are usually maybe some competitors or some other guys who want to scrape some information from your website. Let's move on to operative. Bot visits. This is one of my favorite charts, as here you may see not only the dynamics of bot visits to your website, but you are always able to analyze the dynamics of pages which are visited by bots. Because there are a lot of cases when clients have extreme bot visits increase, but the number of pages is not increasing. So there are just 10 pages which are visited by bots, and this is not very good actually, because you'd better have more or less the same correlation between these two criteria. So this chart is very revealing one. Here you see the status codes which are getting bots from your website, and these are the first charts to monitor after recent product updates. It helps you to avoid extreme increase of 404 errors, which often happens after product updates. These charts give you insights about different search bots, how they prefer to visit your website, either through desktop bot or through mobile bot. And in this particular case, Google search bot prefers to visit through mobile bot. And if we pick up, let's say, Yandex, the picture is absolutely different. So Yandex visits this website through desktop bot. So these are interesting insights for you, and you will have some ideas how to treat these search bots, because they're visiting your website through different bots. Here we are getting the dynamics of loading time, which bots are getting from your website, and we see that around 30% of the website have around 1 second loading time, which is not good, and this is the number of pages you should work on and look closer. Let's move on to impact. Here we overlap crawling data with logs, and it is our vision that the most effective approach to technical optimization should always be based on logs, because you are making some changes and you should monitor how bot behavior changes because of these changes, and you will definitely understand what is good for your website and what definitely has positive effect on your SEO or traffic. So here we see pages visited by bot, and the red column is bad. So there are around 4 million pages which are regularly visited by bots, but they are not in the structure of the website. So these are your orphaned pages or some legacy pages, and your crawling budget is definitely wasted here. The green column is very good. So these pages are visited by bot and they are in the structure of the website. And the gray one, the pages which are not visited, but they are in the structure of the website. So all of these data are clickable. You can click on it and get the list of concrete URLs, so which are not visited, but they are in the structure. You will see the DFI, different criteria of these URLs. You may apply additional filters here and export it and make some to-dos. Then we have SEO Active Pages, so those pages which get organic traffic to your website, and the same differentiation: visited but not in the structure, visited and in the structure, and not visited but they are in the structure of the website. I like a lot these orange charts. Let's start with bot behavior by DFI. DFI is distance from index. So how many clicks from index page your page is located. And out of this criteria, we analyze bot behavior by DFI. So out of this chart, we see that all the pages which are located on second click from the index page, almost all of them are visited by bot quite well. Then on third click from distance, we see that situation is a bit worse, and we see how bot's behavior changes on the fourth clicks from distance. So out of this chart, we can make the conclusion that we should put all our commercial pages closer to the index page, on the second or maybe on the third click. SEO Active Pages by DFI. So we remember that SEO Active Pages, those pages which bring you organic traffic, so visits of end users from different search engines. And here we also see this SEO Active Pages dynamics by DFI. So the same situation that those pages which are located on second click from from index page, they are visited quite well, and we see that situation changes a lot on third and fourth clicks from distance, and we can make some conclusions here. Bot behavior by Pareto. This is the most favorite chart of our CTO, and what it's all about. We see that here there are 99% of pages which are active, and they bring 80% of bots visits. This particular situation is just perfect, and I've never seen that before in our clients' cases, as usually out of all the pages there are around 10 or 20% of pages which are active, and they bring you around 80% of bots visits. And actually this is very revealing chart, and when you have such correlation, you should look closer at those active pages first of all, and maybe even build up a segment for them and care them a lot so nothing happens with them, and you won't lose this big share of bots visits. And another step, you should look closer at those active pages and realize why they are so effective, and apply these changes into those pages which are not active up to now. So this chart is pages by bot visits, and here we see groups of pages which are getting either one visit for the period you picked up, or 2 10 visits, or more than 11 visits for the period you analyze right now. Here is bot behavior by inlinks, and out of this chart we see that those pages which have like more than 500 links on the page, internal links, they are almost all visited by bots regularly. And even when you have more than 100 links on the page, it is also have a good crawl ratio. But you see a very different situation when you have like up to 10 internal links on the page, and you see that crawl ratio is worse. So the conclusion is that optimize your internal linking structure and put at least 100 links on your commercial pages. Bot behavior by content size, and here we see that those pages with more than 2,000 words on the page, they are visited regularly by bots, and when you have less than 500 words, crawl ratio is worse. Bot behavior by title duplication and by non-indexable, so this is about your indexation management. Now let's move on to raw logs. It is your stream logs which we are having in real time. So you see here the main criteria like status code, loading time, and visits date and time, and you see that it is 2:45 and I'm having here 5:45, and it is not the time delay, but this is the time from your server, and it is usually set by Greenwich. So without any time delay, you are having like true access logs, and it is a very good helper after recent product updates. You will be able to see like negative dynamics right away and to fix it if something was broken. So here you may filter this data in any way as you're usually doing it with crawling data, and to work with it. Here you have quick reports with the non-200 status code again, and Ajax URLs. In this particular case, there is nothing here, but usually this is the most popular problem at our clients' cases, and you should definitely pay attention to this report. Let's look at pages in logs. This data is taken from raw logs and grouped into pages with concrete criteria. So here we see the page, how many visits of different user agents it had for the selected period, what status code, average size. Here you may set up additional columns like average loading time, first visit date, last visit date, and you will get this aggregated information by pages. So here you may filter this list and get those pages which have bots visits and have really slow pages. So here we see the page with 19 seconds, 16 seconds, and they are getting bot visits. So we should pick up this list of URLs, of pages, and improve speed of this page, loading time. Here you see the option Join with Dataset, Crawl Pages. You already met this option in Keywords integration, and we again applied that with logs. And actually we love to do and to overlap the data, and we will make even more this year, and of course we will share this information with you. So here we have pages in logs, and we again add data from crawl pages. And we see, show me pages which are in logs and which are also in crawling data. And we see there are 118,000 URLs which exist in logs and also in crawling pages, so it is in the structure of the website. You may apply another filter, which are not in crawling pages. And you see that there are almost 4 million URLs which are visited by bots. They are in logs, and they are not in the structure of your website. So this is your red column of orphaned pages where your crawling budget is wasted. And you have here different opportunities to filter this list and to work with this list of URLs, because this is a problem at your website. So right now you are having all the needed tools at hand. Starting your deep technical analysis at data table pages, you have opportunity to join your logs, also to join your Google Search Console, just pick up the period you are interested in, and join SEO Active Pages information. So those pages which are bringing you concrete visitors from search. Having all this data in just one place, you have opportunity to add these additional filters. So let's say we want to get pictures with impressions, we want to get pictures with visits, want to see the average loading time, and also pages that are getting visits of users. And here we see this page is located 4 clicks from distance. It got 6 impressions, 9 visitors, the average loading time, 34 visits from Google, and 2 visits from search bot. So the difference is this is visits of users, and these are bots visits. And you're having all this information at one place, and you can filter it in as many ways as you need, because you have all needed information from crawling data. You have information from Google Search Console, from blogs and SEO Active Pages. And export this data and give it for improvements and optimizations. So the last but not the least is our segments. You already know this tool and you are using it actively, working with your crawling data, but now you have more power because you have information from logs, you have information from keywords and crawling again, and you can add additional segments. So just up to now you were able to cut your site into slices, I mean into different categories, etc., like location categories or product categories, and watch the data within this particular segment, let's say like Moscow, and you see absolutely different information just within this particular segment. You can watch the impact section and all the sections within this segment, and now you are always able to add new segments that you were not able to add before. Let's say Google Active segment. So those pages which are getting visits from Google, more than 0 for the last months. And now you are able to watch what is going on with this particular segment. Those pages which are getting visits from end users from Google. And you are able to analyze the situation here and to make conclusions just within this particular segment. So it is very effective tool, and we strongly recommend you to use actively within all the data set we have right now, and you will have really unexpected insights there. So for today it is all that I wanted to share with you. It is very easy to integrate your logs into JetOctopus, and you don't have to pass them through FTP. We support like stream logs through Nginx, Cloudflare, Amazon services, and it doesn't take you a lot of time. Just within 1-2 days, your stream logs will be automatically passed into our servers without any additional pressure to your server. And right now we are still having beta testing, and we strongly recommend you to test that for free, because there are just a couple of weeks for free testing. And please write down like a question to our support chat, and our support managers will help you to integrate your logs really quickly. And we are always happy to get your feedback and to answer any questions you have, so feel free to try. And thank you for your attention. Have a great day.